Listen here, girl. I know you think it's a game, but it is absolutely not. Okay, this is the energy supplement from Just Move Supplements. That's right. It's damn near all gone, girl, and that's because I had to get that energy up so I can complete the workout, so I can give y'all this body, this transformation, get into it. Okay, and I'm done working out now, so that's why we're moving on to the protein shake. Oh yes, it's already in there, girl. It's already made right here. This is the mixture of the banana pudding, the chocolate cake, and the buttercream cupcake. And you really want to be fancy, you can go ahead and add that blueberry muffin if that's what you want to do, girl. But for me, it's these three right here. Okay, you put that with some almond milk, you mix it all up in honey. Okay, your muscles have gained life, new energy, agility. Get into it, okay? Just Move Supplements. Thank you very much. Hold up, Chief. Okay, don't forget about that TLC NutriBurst. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Now come on in. Now come. Sorry, y'all. Y'all know I'm weird. Whatever.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. Okay, follow me on Instagram and let's get into the video, right?
Yes, 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 yes. Yes. What's going on, girl? How y'all doing out there today? It's good. What is this, a Tuesday, girl? It's a Tuesday. It's a Tuesday. Okay, come on, a Tuesday. Girl, listen, I went to go do some laundry in the garage, and a king mosquito just took me for a meal. Just took me for a whole meal. My thighs, both of the thighs then got bit. I feel something here on my elbow. That's what I get for being so nutritious. Okay? That's what I get for eating, steak. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God. Maybe if I was plant-based. No, y'all know when it's hot, the mosquitoes come. I want to move to where some of these bugs don't live. I'm going on this trip next week. I didn't realize that I was leaving when I'm leaving, because I forget shit all the time because I'm always cycling in new information. I can't keep hold of everything. But I made sure to check because y'all know we going to Bali, right? Y'all know we going to Bali. I'm going to throw one in the L for that. So, if y'all love me, and y'all support a bitch, send me a little vacation money, girl, because I also had to pay for some shit, girl. The house. We have termite damage. Girl, yes, termite damage. I know they don't have termites everywhere. Here in Louisiana, we often get attacked by a plethora of insects that should let us know we were not supposed to populate this area as human beings. And, the people that decided to populate this area are incorrigible, for lack of a better term. They're assholes. We get attacked by termites, and what happens is if you don't have your house treated, or your treating wears off, okay, or niggas didn't do stuff the way they were supposed to do it, what ends up happening is, the termites swarm, and then they find wet wood, and it was raining every day. It's been raining every day. And so they found the wet wood on the outside of this here window, and they ate through to this side. Now, I grew up here in New Orleans. I know what termite, what happens when termites, I saw it. And when I tell y'all, I wanted to jump out of my skin. It creeps me out so much that they eat through the wood, and it creates this like bubble outside. Give me a second. And so it's a lot, right? It's a lot. We're planning a family reunion. I also have to get ready for the Bali trip, y'all. Okay, I have a lot going on. But I love being here. So hi everybody. I'm really happy that you guys are here. Thank you. Like it's the highlight of my day, girl. Reset by Design Wellness, girl. We're going to Bali from the 8th to the 15th, girl. I'm going to be out there for a little longer, and so I'm really excited. I'm excited to be traveling with the girls again. Specifically because me and child Sakina, because I don't want y'all to think it's the Sakina that's online, not that Sakina, my Sakina. we're gonna be traveling together. And I'm like, oh, great. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate sometimes I hate being, traveling alone. Sometimes it's fun to travel with people. You know what I mean? Like when you're on the planes and shit. Um, I feel like everybody's brain picks up a little bit of the weight so that you're not like having to be on guard in the same way as when you're by yourself traveling. I don't know if it's just me, but that's how I feel. So I can't wait. We're fingers crossed that all of the clothes that I've done rush 2-day deliveries on will be here in time. Oh my god. So it's a lot. It's a lot, but I'm excited about the trip. And y'all know that we have some other ones going down, all right? So Mauritius is in September of 2026, and I'm really looking forward to that one. That's on the east coast of Africa where I have always wanted to be, girl. They say the best beaches are along that area of Africa, girl. I can't wait. Okay, bring me back. And then we're going on a couples retreat to Maya Riviera at the beginning of April. So I'm gonna be traveled out, and I don't mean in a way of me being worn out. I mean in a way of girl, I'm gonna be outside. Okay, outside. All right. So I'm so excited. I'm trying to make sure I'm not getting bit by another mosquito, girl. It's a lot. So yeah, y'all. Um, if you would like to become a part of the Reset by Design Wellness Clique, because we go on really great trips, everybody's super excited. We're all in the group chat texting about things, and it's just, it's a vibe. And if you want to become a part of it because it's coming up, then go to the website, resetbydesignwellness.com, and sign up to become a part of the mailing list. If you do want to come on any of the trips that are already slated to happen, which I just talked about, $500 down, you can do affirm and break up your payments into even more parts so it can be manageable for yourself. You want to get in now when we have enough time, and you could just be throwing your little extra, your little extra, your little extra in there, and then whoop pow pow, you got a real nice vacation that you didn't really have to plan. Okay, and that's the best part, not having to actually plan any of the things you do when you go somewhere that you've never been. Really being able to rely on somebody that has been there, has stayed there, has learned the area so that you don't feel like you're walking around just, brand new somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Um so y'all, get your 5% off in the month of June. Now, after that, it's going to be over, girl. All right? Thanks, bro. All right. So, y'all know what we here for. We here for them raggedy ass housewives. Now, I talked to Jeremy Speaks this past week, and we had a conversation about Britt and Kelly. And so I am with his and I's conversation in mind, I am going to um be clear on some things when it comes to Kelly. Okay? Okay. So Shamia, I was watching the Brooke Ashley. Shout out to the Brooke Ashley. I love y'all. I love that y'all like are watching these scenes from like an emotional place, right? Because Brooke was like she cried through like, this whole portion of Shamia with the baby. And I'm like, I get it. Like I so get it. But it only makes me more angry with them. And I feel like that's interesting that like, we're like feeling sorry for the baby, but it's showing up in different ways. Because for me, it's starting to it's pissing me off. It's pissing me off a little bit. Um, the thirst to have children to the point that you couldn't be happy with the beautiful, healthy baby that God gave y'all because y'all wanted to keep trying for a boy. Because something tells me the second baby came because you were trying for a boy so badly. So you know what I'm saying? I just I was just like, I appreciate everybody like looking at it from this viewpoint of feeling sorry for the baby or feeling sorry for Shamia. But I cannot help but see the way women force themselves into these entrapments in their mind, and it makes them make these decisions in life that are detrimental for everybody. Like, who gives a fuck? that he wanted a boy. Who gives a fuck? It's weird to care so heavily about that to the point of exhaustion and access and exploitation with the way y'all picked that lady up off the street, and because it didn't take, y'all didn't do it. But there's a y'all, I don't care what nobody talking about, there's a desperation in the way that Shamia goes about life and the way she is going about trying to create a boy child for this man. Ma'am, I'm really gonna need for you to stand the fuck up. It's very obvious to me that this is a burden that she's carrying more than anybody else. And so I feel like she should be the one that weighs whether y'all should have another child or not. It should not be up to him if y'all have another child simply so he can have a boy, because all of the work falls on her. And it seems as if having nurses and family around does not take away from the fact that she is the mother, and so she's primarily responsible. I think that women need to start having stronger boundaries when it comes to having children, even in marriage. I don't care if you can afford it. Do you 100% want it? And I'm not talking about, do you want it because your husband want it? I want you to decide if that's what you really want for real. Not I want to do it because I want to give him what he want. Fuck all that. Take him completely out of the scenario. Matter of fact, act like that nigga died and you had to be taking care of those children on your own. Would you want another child? This is how I feel. If you would not want to raise that child by yourself completely, then you don't really want that child. To me, there are women that get pregnant in situations with men and they wanted that baby. They wanted that baby more than they wanted that man, to the point that they are willing to not have him around. They're willing, they want the baby. And I think that that's important. I think that women should absolutely want babies all on their own. The number that they have should always be based on how many kids they could handle by themselves. I want everybody to stop living in la la land. The nuclear family, a lot of the times, locks a woman in a house with a man and children with no real communal support that takes up the everyday task of taking care of children. They might come in sometimes and help, but it's not communal enough for women to continue to have babies that they themselves are bearing a brunt of, and you could tell it's weighing on them. But they're going to tell you that this is what they want. You see how it doesn't matter that she's saying it's what she wants. We can tell that it's not really what she wants because she looks exhausted and tired. And then she always looks like whenever she gets any grasp of freedom, she diving head first into that shit. And it's like, whoa, calm down, Shamika. You know, shout out to Erica. Okay, calm down, Shamia. And it's because I believe that she is telling herself as a woman and as a wife and as a mother, this is who I have to be. I have to do it like this. If he wants this, I have to do it. And you don't. You don't. You could tell him no and let the cards fall where they may. You can say that that's enough of this. We've done enough. We have 2 children, 2 beautiful little girls, one of which is going to need more help than the other. And so it is not smart or healthy for any of us to add another young child onto that situation when it still takes, and we don't know what developmentally it's going to look like for that baby as she gets older, meaning that she's going to require a lot of energy in a way that that first baby did not. So I feel like the perspective of having another child and then another child simply because the first child might have been easier to deal with is ignorant as fuck, because every child that you add on to that situation, you also have to think about how the older child is now going to not be getting as much attention and love. You have to think about that because that's what's going to happen. You're not going to try, like you're going to make these conscious efforts, but when one baby is sickly and then the other baby is the younger and then he's going to be the male, y'all gonna treat that oldest child like shit if y'all ever get a boy. Like, because you're gonna have to give so much attention to the middle child because she, is sickly. And then you're gonna give all of this extra attention to the boy because that is the way, that's the way it moves. Y'all are so, because y'all feel like that's who carries on the man. No, like in real life, the women carry the shit on. It's called mitochondrial DNA. Get out of my face with this stupid shit. Some African families require too much from the mothers. Yeah. Yeah. And it's also a vibe of we've all suffered, so you can suffer too. And I just feel like women should stand up. And if they are not able, willing, or capable of taking care of all of their children by themselves, then I don't think they should have those children for other people. I just don't. Like, your DNA is going to live on anyway, nigga. I gave you a little girl. She'll have partial mitochondrial DNA from your mother and mine. You will live on, nigga. If that's what the point really is, you will live on. Like, wrap this shit up. Like, I'm tired. I'm tired. Wrap it up. Fuck. Lady over there sweating out her goddamn shortcut every time you turn around over some shit with Gerald. They go to the hospital. Now, I don't know when the baby got strep throat, but they were saying that the baby was about to get sick because the baby was in the room freezing cold. She come back, and now there's a question about if Shamia gave the baby strep throat. Okay, girl. So no, that's not what happened. And she FaceTimes with Gerald to tell him that the baby didn't have strep throat. He wants a son, even though she's stressed out. Aisha, whatever her name was, failed to transfer, so now they're holding off. She didn't give the baby strep. I think the idea that you gave the baby strep, where did that come from? Where did that come from? How did that happen? Like, I'm still trying to understand why the room was so cold. Like, I need for us to come and make, I'm gonna go on Bravo Shade Room when I'm done and see if somebody can ever make any of this make sense for me. But it's like, on one part, you feel like Shamia is over there putting on 20 on 10 so that she can create a storyline. But it's also you seeing the real issues that she's having over there peeking through, because you can't hide that type of stress. Especially in a housewives role. It's about your life. You can't hide how stressful it is for you to be, a mother and a wife. It just kind of seeps through in how, you sweating out your blowout. Okay. And I'm just being, that's just me being funny when I say that, because y'all take things too literally in the comments sometimes. Bitch can't make a joke without motherfuckers trying to fact check the joke. Bitch, it was a joke. Phaedra catches us up. She's still throwing fumes for people. She's still a Reiki healer. And then she says, you've never had a crystal in your coochie. And y'all, creep, 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 creep. Creep, 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 creep. That's Phaedra, y'all. Creep, 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 creep. She is a fucking creep. Now, I need for y'all to understand something about Reiki and about sticking crystals in your hoo-ha. Those two things are not mutually exclusive. Yes, I have absolutely had a crystal thrown up my hoo-ha. Okay, it's supposed to strengthen the involuntary muscles in your vagina. It is supposed to be like a natural way to tighten and clench your wall muscles. Okay, as to be sucking the soul out of these niggas. Okay, hello. You put a pink, okay, you put a pink crystal up there, maybe an amethyst, bitch, a clear quartz, something with some good, you know what I'm saying? Some good energetic shit to it based on what them people say. And you put the little egg in there, and you strengthen your muscles with the egg, girl. Okay. That's what we learned. It also strengthens your orgasm quality. The tighter your walls are down there, your pelvis, the tighter you are down there, also the better your orgasms will be if you are having them. If you are having sex, you should be having them. Orgasms feel like a buildup and then a release, just in case, because I know some people may not know what those are. Okay. But I have never been Reiki'd. And so I feel like for her to insert that sexual part of it, is unnecessary. And it reminds me how much of a fucking creep that Phaedra is. And as people get older, it is harder for them to hide, or more, they don't give a fuck about hiding how much of a creep they are. She's a creep. I don't trust Phaedra, but then we see her children, and it is her only redeeming quality, everybody. Phaedra is a excellent mother. I feel like, I don't know how women do this. But I will put some, I'm about to put some predictions out there on y'all. And these are simply predictions, not to be taken personal, but just based on, what I've seen from other people and applying it. The boys are going to be a problem for any woman that they get into a relationship with, because there is something about Phaedra that young men these days are being raised to hate powerful women. Society will mold your mind to find something wrong with your mother, especially if you have a father that wants that to be true, right? To me, Apollo gives, I talk bad about your mama around you. Okay. That's what he gives. I think that Phaedra is doing so good by her boys, and I think they will love her, but I also feel like they will act out their feelings about her that they don't show. They're gonna act that out on little girlfriends and boyfriends. Okay. That's just how it's coming off to me based on what we know about Phaedra as a woman, and then also the way she shows up as a parent. It just shows that she compartmentalizes in a certain manner that her kids are gonna do once they get older. They're gonna compartmentalize their shit in such a manner as well. But they're gonna be successful. They're so smart. They're good-looking kids. They're really, like the young one, Mr. President, deciding to sew his own bell bottoms because he couldn't find them in his size. And she says, here, sew it yourself. That's a great mom, to nurture those things in your children, no matter how it looks to the outside world. To nurture what they may be good at in any capacity is such a good parent. You know what I'm saying? But I also see how she moves in life. And it just makes me feel like there's no way that they're going to escape how she shows up in real life, being a snake, being a creep. There's no way they're gonna escape that, because that's just not how parenting works. It's just not how parenting works. But I think they're great kids, and I think she is doing great with them. But yeah, I could definitely see them growing up and being emotionally abused by. Okay. I don't know why, child. That's just what, especially that young one. That young one look like when he grow up, he gonna be the type of young man to have the young girls' heads spinning around. Okay, because it's a lot of energy, it's a lot of cool guy shit going on there. I was just like, yeah, yeah, how this is gonna show up when they become young men is gonna be interesting. But I still think they'll be like, well mannered, and I don't think they'll be in trouble and all of that type of stupid shit. So I think that Phaedra is still doing good by them, but it's just very, the to be able to see them grown up from being babies, and then to see now that they're kind of coming into becoming young men, how that's going to show up. I'm always interested in paying attention to the way people's parenting styles affects their children. It's just interesting to me. Um, but the oldest one being smart and saying he wants 5%, being, you know what I mean? Like, I do love that. I love smart kids, man. I love the smart kids. I love the parents that allow for their kids to be smart and don't try to beat them being smart out of them. Because a lot of people don't like for their kids to surpass them. So they undermine their kids as they grow and get older out of ego, and it keeps them from being as smart as they actually are. Oh, 5% of his clothing line, because the little one wants to do a clothing line, and it stemmed from him sewing the bell bottoms. And so now he wants to do a clothing line, and Phaedra is going to have an event where he can show off some of his clothes. And I thought that was so dope. I thought that was so dope. I was like, oh, look at y'all with these little smart hustling kids, man. Um not beat the smart out. I mean, I do feel like a lot of parents, um, mentally and emotionally, not always physically, beat the smart out of their kids because when kids start to be smart in a social manner, adults want them to stop being smart. So they undermine their accuracy. They undermine how children are viewing their experience. And it is out of ego because we don't see children as human beings. We see them as property, things that we like animals, things we have to take care of, but we don't necessarily always see ourselves in them or remember what it was like to be them. Kelly goes to court, but there was a continuance. She says Shamia comes to see her. Okay. Yeah, she's sad. Shamia comes to see her. Kelly has a Williams and Sonoma event. Okay, so everybody was checking up on Kelly because y'all know she's going through some foolishness with that husband. He ended up going to jail. I don't really know much about it besides that because I get a little bored because I feel like Kelly keeps talking about this divorce, but we're not actually getting details in real time. Like, okay, we know he went to jail. Like, we knew that already. So it's just something about it that feels like we're being breadcrumbed when it comes to her storyline. But I do love that she had a Williams and Sonoma event. And I was watching Roxanne. I was watching everybody's reviews before I felt like coming up here. I was watching Roxanne, and Roxanne was like, why would y'all invite, like, production was putting on in a way by inviting Charles Oakley to be at Williams and Sonoma, and I was like, "Yeah, nah, sis, I see it exactly." Y'all, my dad loved Williams and Sonoma. The way my pa would have enjoyed that type of moment, a competitive cooking moment in Williams Sonoma. Like, no, y'all, seriously, it was a thing. Like, I have really good cookware to this day because my dad bought really expensive, good cookware from Williams and Sonoma. And when my mom, broke down that house, I took a lot of the stuff. And when I tell y'all, it is some of the best pots that you could buy. It's so expensive, but it is literally like for people that like to cook, it's top tier. And my dad really liked to cook like Charles does. I'm telling y'all, I really understand the prototype of personality that Charles Oakley has because he's a lot like my dad to me. There are likable, respectable qualities about men like that, but they still be mean and fucked up. And because they have those redeeming qualities, they feel like it makes it okay for them to be mean and surly to everybody. Because I'm smart. I did well. I got money. I'm a big man. You know what I'm saying? I might take good care of myself and my family. They build a lot of pride in those things, but then those things also kind of inflate their head and they don't really care about how they treat other people, even though if they were to be treated in that same way, they wouldn't like that shit. You know what I mean? Um, but I was like, it absolutely makes sense that he would be there, like, cooking, because we saw off that first episode that Charles likes to cook. Charles just competed in a cooking competition in my oh yeah. Oh, that's so his bag. Like, you could tell. He loved it. And I was just like, as I was watching the episode, I turned to my husband. I was like, child, let me tell you something. If it was not for cooking, and I thank God that I grew up in a place like Louisiana where it is like common practice for men to know how to cook. This is a food place. So we're not that far removed from chefs. People like the way we appreciate food in New Orleans is to understand who your great chefs in the city are. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dookie Chase and Muriel Lagasse and John Fosse. And, it's so many of them, y'all. It's so many of them. The black lady that owns Compare La Pen, like it's just so like it's a culture here to know who your chefs are, right? And so we have like a real appreciation for food. Men know how to cook here in Louisiana. It's a thing for men to know how to cook. Like, I remember when I first got with Lyric, I was like, yeah, my daddy cooks. So if you can't cook, then I can't fuck with you. Lyric had ketchup and some other shit in the refrigerator, barely anything, and still created a meal. I was just like, box checked. Box checked. You got to be able to cook, hun. You got to see your part in how this kitchen shit happens, okay? Because it's not gonna always be me. I enjoy it though. I actually enjoy cooking, and I enjoy when we cook together. I also enjoy the times when he cooks. There are things he cooks that I'm like, you need to cook that. You cook that better than me. You need to cook that. Okay. He makes rice-a-roni better than me, and he makes tacos better than me. Like, listen. So some other stuff. And then like even before me and Larry started like dating as friends, we would all meet up and cook at my apartment. Like everybody would bring food. So like we have like these relationships based on food. So for men in Louisiana, it's a thing for them to be able to cook, honey. It is a pull, okay? A nigga love to make you some food. The first person that ever taught me how to cook anything was my cousin. My boy cousin sat me on top a counter and taught me how to make eggs, taught me how to make an omelet. He's a chef to this day. He cooks for different restaurants and shit. But like the food thing here is very serious. And so I see that all in Charles Oakley. And when I was like, yeah, child, listen, I hate the way I could see why somebody would want to be with him, even though he's so mean. But that's because like I was raised by one of these niggas, and that stoic but yet powerful, energy is very seductive in men. It's very seductive in men. Them being able to do shit is very seductive because most men don't do shit. So when men like that's why, be looking at some of these crab ass niggas that have nothing, they're not even attractive, but they don't know how to cook. It's like, well, what are you doing with your life? Because you're not making yourself a value in any type of way. Like the men who like really got women, like they know how to cook, they have really clean like when I was growing up, really clean apartments, clothes are always like ironed and then cleaned very nice. Like my dad used to starch his jeans to the point that it was a thing that we would put them on, they would make that noise. Like nigga, whole top of the closet is polo shirts, like and set up in short sleeve shirts in different colors, and then long sleeve shirts to wear, and then jeans all lined up from the cleaners, and it's like the way my dad, some of my boy cousins that around my age, like niggas tennis shoes always had to be clean. Like I be looking at some of these men sometimes, like y'all are not even offering what we get at base fuck nigga level in New Orleans. That's why when women come here, they get macked on so easy, because like a nigga will open a door, suck a toe, fuck the dog shit out of you, make you a plate of food you ain't never had before, bring you around their family. Like niggas will hit you up from all sides out here. Okay? We'll hit you up from all sides out here. That's why it's like, yeah, nah, I don't know how people act like everybody's supposed to know that they being abused sometimes, because I'm like, you bitch. Okay? It's not really that easy. It's not really that easy unless you know what to look for. I'm just saying. That event was like they made bananas Foster, my nigga. You gotta know how to cook to know how to make some bananas Foster. Okay? Like that's such a thing down here in New Orleans. Like, child, we love us some bananas Foster. Every time you go to brunch some damn well, where's the bananas Foster? Oh my God. I swear to God, sometimes I love being from here, and then sometimes I hate it so much. Oh my God. Anyway, so Kelly tries too hard. Kelly be trying way too hard. There's this scene in the in between confessional where the two little her little twins come and kiss her on the cheek at the same time and hand her the dog. I don't know why that needed to happen. That was weird. I also can feel Kelly feeling threatened in certain spaces. You could tell she feels threatened. Like the fact that the women were complimenting Charles' food. All right, okay, but y'all not gonna compliment me. You know what I'm saying? And I get it was a competition, but it's something about I feel like I could see how her wheels are turning. You know what I'm saying? But I still feel like financially she seems to be backing herself up. So I'm still not understanding where the people are leaving Kelly to go work for Brit when Brit don't look like she got enough money for all of this. And ain't she being sued by that restaurant, by that country club that she couldn't afford to pay for? Like, I feel like birds of a feather flock together. They're both frauds, but in different ways. Kelly is a fraud because she is a flip flopper and she feigns niceness instead of being emotionally honest sometimes. People please a bullshit. That's why her and Shamia get along. Brit is the manipulative user friend. That like she's a snake because she don't even really like you like that, but she see that she could use you, and so she's gonna pretend to be your friend because she could use you. And they're similar in that way, but I don't feel like Kelly is using Shamia in the same way that I think Brit was using Kelly. Or the way, you know what I'm saying? Because Brit just kind of seems like a scammer. Like, so the way she's using people is different. I think Kelly is the type to play long game with the way she uses people. Both frauds, just different types of frauds, and the fraud is happening in different ways. So I'm gonna give y'all that. Okay. This man, this man, I don't know where this man came from that walks up to Angela and Charles is able to ignore it. I don't know whether Charles was ignoring it or he just didn't hear it. But the man coming over to Angela and talking about, oh, I know something about your man because he's always coming to my restaurant. I know something about your man that you don't know. And da 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 da. And let me tell y'all something. Don't ever come up to me like that in the street. And I say that because at the end of the day, as a grown woman, you already know who you married to. You already know who you married to. A stranger don't ever need to come to me and tell me not a motherfucking thing about my dude. Like, no stranger needs to come up to me. Now, a friend, a family member, I might hear what you got to say. Absolutely. But no stranger on the street is going to come up to me like that because a lot of like, you know why? Because I feel like when they doing it, it's to embarrass you. It's to kind of give you oh, you thought shit was sweet, huh? You thought you had a good one, huh? But you really don't, bitch. It's that type of energy. And it's just kind of like, whatever it is, my nigga, is my situation. And you coming up to me like you about to tell me something about my shit that I don't know is alarming. It's alarming. And then he was like giving lean and a little tipsy. I was like, nigga, are you drunk? You know what I'm saying? And then you chiming in on the conversation in case they missed it. You saying it during the toast that her man is cheating on her. And then we investigate later on and find out that somebody paid that man to do that shit. And I'm like, so we gonna act like production didn't pay that man to do that shit? We gonna need a person? Because I feel like it's probably production. Because who else brought him on? Who else allowed for him to walk up? Where's security that's not blocking off the perimeter to make sure that the people that were just randomly there are not walking up on the scene like that? Was he mic'd? It did seem like he was mic'd, but I couldn't tell because he was so close to people. I couldn't tell whether their mic was picking him up or it was his own mic. But yeah, if they mic'd him up, that was totally production. And it gives production has always wanted Angela to be on this show because they know that her husband is out in the street doing whatever. They know her husband is probably out there, tricking off, women and fucking and throwing money here or there and partying. Like, I think a lot of them know that. And so they wanted Angela to come on the show because it was always the plan to out Charles. I think there must be a group of people that hang around production and the girls on the show that know who Charles Oakley is in a personal setting way. I think they know that he's cheating. And so they were wanting Angela to come on the show since way back when to out the fact that Charles is a cheater, because I think they feel like Angela is the type of woman that would do well getting her freedom through a reality show. Because a lot of women act like they want to be in those situations until somebody offers them a better alternative. And that better alternative comes with Housewives because it's a lot of money. And it's something that can give you something else to do. It feeds into your sense of self in a way that makes you feel like you are now important in a way that you didn't feel before. That's why it's a pipeline to divorce, because a lot of the times women really aren't as happy as they're pretending to be. And they don't even know it until somebody offers them a door that says, are you sure you want to be there? Oh, yeah, I love him. I love him. Open the fucking door. Now what would you choose? And a bitch kind of stand there and think about it and start inching towards the fucking end. Start inching towards the door. And as soon as it looked like she close enough to the door, the bitch run out that motherfucker. Okay, that's how a lot of women are getting out of marriage these days, coming on these shows, y'all. think people wanted to give Angela this opportunity. But I feel like Angela might be one of those old school women that feels like Charles is worth the trouble. Because there are women that feel like their brand of nigga might be worth the trouble. And I can see how Charles would show up and make her feel like he was worth the trouble. And I would still disagree. I would still disagree because I feel like men like Charles need to be broken. The way they feel like women need to be broken, men like Charles need to be broken. And what I mean is, you need to be left alone until you care about how you treat people. You need to deal with your loneliness. You need to deal with people not giving you their energy to feed off until you decide. I need it to hurt until you decide that I don't want to be alone. And if I want to be around everybody, I'm going to have to start handling them with some type of care. And life helps you do this because as men get older, they lose testosterone and start gaining more estrogen in their hormones, which helps them become more empathetic. So nature is trying to help you niggas get to a point of understanding. But a lot of y'all are too hard-headed and you are refusing to do what needs to be done, which is for you to be vulnerable, for you to care about the feelings of the people around you. You don't have to care about every motherfucker's feelings, but at most you should care about your wife's feelings. You should care about how people see her. You should want to protect her from people viewing her like she's some dummy because she's with you and you refuse to show her the same type of admiration that she so happily shows you. She loves talking about him and how accomplished he is and how good of a man he is and how he cooks and how he does that. She loves talking about that when it comes to him. She loves the opportunity to big him up in a way that is honest for her. And he does not do it for her. He doesn't. He doesn't make her feel that same way. And I feel like that means he needs to be alone. That means he deserves to be alone until he can figure that out. Girl, you got to read The Color Purple. Y'all got to read The Color Purple. In a movie, they kept out a vital part of how Mr. got back in everybody's good graces. It wasn't just one thing that he did. It wasn't just one thing. Like, it took years of him showing up with no expectations. It took him years of being a real, true friend to Celie in order for him to be welcomed back into the bosom of the community and the family that he lived right down the way from, basically. In the movie, they made it seem like, oh, he just, he did that one thing, and then everybody was like, oh, we all right with Mr. Not. That's not what happened. In the book, he had to do a lot of, he had to be by himself, like he was miserable. Everybody had left, and he had to sit with that for a long time until one day Celie came back to town. And he was sorry. Y'all saw standing outside the shop looking sorry and shit. Y'all saw that. But he actually eventually started speaking to her and they formed a friendship. And once he said to her, I didn't even realize how much, how good a company you are. He said, I never realized. And that's because a lot of these men are living in delusional land where they're the only one that matters. And so they don't even soak up how good they have it when they have it that way. They really don't. And so he said, I never realized how good a company you were. And then he asked her to marry him. And she said no, that she would not marry him again. But they still remain close. They remain friends. And I think at some point they were living in the same house. Them and Suge Avery. And she would come in and out. But they all were living in that house together at the end of the book. And they never want y'all to know that, I think, because they don't want y'all to see how men have to give in order to be received for real, to be in these communities that they wish to control, but then get mad that they can't connect to in a certain way. It's because you seek to control it. As soon as you would acquiesce and let go of this control you're trying to have, then you give people the choice of loving you. And then you have to treat them like you want them to love you. And that's not about your ego. That's about making people feel comfortable to want to love you. Because people love the most fucked up people all the time, y'all. All the time. If people would just let go and surrender to the fact that you can't control people and allow them the space to figure out what they want to do and put your boundaries up, everybody would be able to enjoy and connect with each other without feeling so isolated in it. There's a lack of connecting because the deepness that's required to connect, a lot of people don't want to go to that level. You don't want to be that honest. That's too uncomfortable. But I really love to share that portion of The Color Purple because I feel like it reminds me of like that mean and surly man that he really had to be faced with how his decisions affected the people around him before he could actually change. And that's how you know a lot of these men don't change, because they're never actually forced to be on their own and deal with the consequences of how they've treated the people around them, because there's always somebody around willing to play into their delusion. That's the reason why. There's always some girl with low self-esteem. Mister had to be over there at that fucking house by himself. He had already done the young girl thing, and that was tiring. Nigga don't feel like going find another young girl. That's too much work too. That's why it was easier to just go back and try to fix the shit with the people who already loved him. Like, but a lot of men don't get that. That's why they keep getting younger women, because it requires growth to stay with a woman. A lot of the times it requires growth. They don't want to grow. They want to just be with the one until that one decides they can't take their lack of growth anymore, and they continue to grow and leave you where you are, and then you go find, or you just go find younger ones. You replace your older model with a newer model. So yeah, y'all, that's what this reminds me of with Charles and Angela. Um, that man was weird. I don't know who paid him, but I'm glad that security removed him. That's weird. I hate when people do shit like that. Um, I think production is being messy because they're trying to make something happen because nothing was really happening. I think at this point in reality TV, it's hard to do because people are overproducing themselves. People get on these shows, they have shit that's going on in their personal life, and they decide that they're not going to be, um, courageous enough to let everybody see it, which I get, but then also don't come and be on a reality show. It's really that simple. Because once you get on there, you are given a producer's license to dig into your shit and pull it out and force you to confront it. Like, that's literally what signing up for a reality show is. So I don't like the way they went about doing that. And I feel like um that is much better done through women having real friendships where they can sit and talk to each other and these things come up and come out. Or they have conversations with their partner in scene and that honesty comes up and comes out, versus having outside people doing weird shit trying to force confrontation. I didn't like the way that was done. Britt has Porsha and Cynthia over to her house. Britt says Kelly didn't want her to continue to use her team. They were being dressed just alike. So here's the thing. There's a part of me that feels like Britt is taking advantage, but Kelly extended the help probably in order to maybe help, but also in some respect to sun you, like to differentiate herself from you. Y'all come on the show together and nobody knows y'all. So in order to differentiate yourself, you have to show yourself as being a little bit higher than Brit. So the way she showed herself higher than Brit was to offer Brit her glam squad, because Brit didn't have it. So I got it. I'm gonna help you out, girl. I'm gonna put you on, right? I do think at some point it became annoying to Kelly that all of her outfits were matching with Brit's. And because Brit is more, tall and has this slimmer build, clothes are made for her body type versus Kelly's shorter body type. So I feel like at some point, yeah, she probably was feeling like, I don't like how y'all got this bitch looking better than me. And that really should make you recognize how your stylist wasn't that good in the first place. And that means it's time to replace that nigga. Because if he's dressing somebody taller better than he's dressing you, it's because he doesn't know how to dress your body. And it might be time for him to go anywhere. Anyway, like, let her have him, girl. Okay. But Kelly was still going through something with her divorce. And even in the moment when they were talking about that, I feel like Britt never showed up for Kelly in the way that Kelly was showing up for her. Kelly did show up to her house. Kelly did sit there and woo, woo, woo her. Kelly did bring some drink and some food. And like she came with shit. That's why I don't see them exactly the same, because I feel like Kelly is actually like showing up for people, even though she flip-flopping and shit. She don't ever show up empty-handed. And I understand it's a projection of how she wants to come across. She's controlling her image and how she's seen. I get that. But I also feel like Brit is a gimme, gimme girl with her fucking hand out, looking for a way to scam people out of money. So I'm going to feel a little less annoyed with Kelly in comparison to the scammer who loves to throw her wealth in people's faces by talking about what you did, but when it came time for you to show up financially, you didn't. I also feel like if we wasn't talking about that, I know everybody feel like they were being passive aggressive, they were dragging it with Brit. What else is there to talk about? What else is there to talk about? Because a lot of y'all are not talking about what's actually going on in y'all personal lives. And then when Angela talks about what's going on in her personal life, y'all ask her why the fuck she telling us. I don't know. Maybe because we on a reality show and we should be talking about some of these things so that we can have some story going on. But instead, everybody's trying to protect themselves. Do y'all know how fucking stupid it is for Porsha to spend the entire season keeping everything close to the vest, getting paid a six-figure salary, all for her to go and tell People Magazine everything? If I was Bravo, I would fire her. I would fire the dog shit out of her. That is no different than Robin not saying what was going on Potomac when it came to her and that weird ass husband, but then going and talking about the shit behind a paywall on her and Giselle's podcast. Did that save their podcast or something? Is their podcast doing well? I don't know, because I don't watch them. They bland as fuck to me. But you know, there's somebody for everybody, you know. I listen. I'm a niche crowd. I ain't mad about it. Um, Britt says Shamia is using the Glam Squad now too. So what the fuck is that? Britt says that she stays quiet about things and that Shamia was showing everybody, well, showing Britt the text messages between she and Porsha. I'm trying to let you know that she was showing me all of your text messages. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. Even if somebody is telling the truth, if somebody is vindictively trying to tell me something about somebody else, I won't receive it. I had this happen to me one time. A girl was telling me something about a friend of mine, telling me like her experience of her is that she be lying and that she be gaslighting and shit. And she had said something about me that wasn't true. I don't know her. And the way I could tell that she kept trying to make an issue out of something, even when there was no issue for me, because I don't give a shit, I could tell like she was trying to get anger from me towards my friend. And that's my friend. I don't really know you. So even if you were right, I could not just take your word for it just because you said it. That's how I felt about the way Britt was trying to get Porsha to turn on Shamia. And I honestly like the way that Porsha handled it. Porsha was like, "Is that right? Okay, all right. Well, you know what? Do what's best for you." Because I feel like at the end of the day, the way you're attempting to tell me this business is vindictive. It's not really because you want the best for me. It's because you want to get even with her. And I don't like that. I don't like the energy of that. That feels disingenuous. Don't come in trying to tell me shit because you're trying to get back at another bitch. I'm not going to receive it, because then it's going to be muddied and I'm not going to know whether you're lying or not because of the way you are vindictively telling me something. Come real, but don't come in this vindictive, "Oh, I'm just trying to make sure you understand." Girl, okay. Because at the end of the day, I feel like Porsha has done snake ass shit to Shamia, and I feel like Shamia has done snake ass shit to Porsha. That's how I feel right now about their relationship. But I do feel like because Porsha is a narcissistic personality type, the way she deals with everybody is from center gaze. It's always from her. You know what I'm saying? And not in a good way. Not in a good way. You know what I mean? Because we should be centered in ourselves, but she's not centered in herself in that way. Like she really centers men more than anything. But the way she handles her friends, the way she handles other women, it absolutely centers her ego more than anything. But I like the way she handled that. I like the way she told her, you just do what's best for you. Like, don't try to get, me mad at Shamia. We have our issues. I'm gonna be mad anyway, bitch. I don't need no help. I don't need no help being mad at Shamia, girl. Then Brit's dogs start humping everybody. Then Phaedra calls. Like, and it's as if they were sitting waiting for Phaedra to call, like they knew the shit was gonna happen ahead of time. I think if anybody, Porsha knew. Phaedra is getting ready for her event. Porsha calls saying that Londi died, so she won't make it. Cause, you know, do I have to tell y'all? Phaedra told them everything that happened with Angela husband and the man walking over. It was very messy. You can tell that Phaedra is a part of the narrative that Charles is out here cheating. Like Phaedra is a part of that narrative. That's what she's been glued. Like as this go-between person, I think she has notes and bullet points about the things that she's supposed to relay during the season, and that's the job that she's there to do. Let's see. Yes, Porsha calls. Porsha, when I say that she's a narcissistic personality, when she called about Londi, there was no emotion. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna say this, and I know that people are gonna be like, Brittany, you can't say that. Listen, it's just how I feel, y'all. It's just my opinion, and I could be wrong. And I'm open to being wrong because I'm not in Porsha's head. But what I felt when I watched her, when I heard the conversation, when I saw the way she looked in that FaceTime, you look like you were inconvenienced by her death. You look like you were annoyed that Londi died. Not that you were sad, but that you were inconvenienced by it. That's what it felt like. Like, oh, she, my cousin, she died. I know. But it didn't feel like you were sad. It felt like you were annoyed. I don't know if we know the cause of death because I might have talked about it and forgot. But it really kind of, I feel like Portia's a sociopath, like somebody that doesn't really have, they don't have empathy for other people. They don't have empathy for other people, not in a way that other people do. Like it's not really there. Everything is a performance. I think the way she thinks kind of lets you know that she's like missing some component of this experience, like the way she socializes and shit. Yeah. It's given I don't feel feelings. Like I'm sorry, y'all. Is it just me, or does it give I don't feel feelings? And then whenever somebody tries to get her to feel feelings, like, or she only weaponizes it. She only cries when she's weaponizing. She never cries like genuinely. To me, it's always to perform, to make people feel bad for her, or to get out of accountability for something. But in the moment like that, there was no real emotion. It's because she performs those emotions for her own benefit, not because they're actually real. So when she's talking about, talking about her daughter feeling so sad because that nigga just left and he was playing daddy and all of that, I don't feel that at all. I don't even feel like that's true. She can say that as many times as she wants to, but I feel like it's only because you want us to feel like he's so fucked up for leaving your daughter, when really I feel like you was fucked up for expecting a parent out of a nigga that you had known for less than a year. That's wild. You don't even know him like that. So yeah, I really do feel like Porsha might be like a sociopath or somebody that doesn't feel emotions in the same way as everybody else. And when she does have those emotions, it's more of a performance, not something that's genuinely happening like within her. It's not connected to her feelings inside. It's just connected to, I know I should perform this because once I cry, they're going to leave me alone. They're going to back up off of me, or they're going to feel bad for me. So I'm just going to start crying. That's what it gave. That's what it gave. And Pilar has a dad. Yeah. Like that's another thing. Like stop acting like Dennis is not the daddy. Dennis is the damn daddy. And I really feel like Dennis makes it a point to be a present parent because I think he might have realized it, but I also feel like he may not have realized who he had a child with. And you don't realize that until you worried about how their psyche will affect your child's psyche. So you just stay close. You just stay close and make sure that you're there so that you can try to offset whatever damage the emotionally vacant parent, would do. Is anybody else getting, you know what I mean? Like, Okay, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, girl. I'm just pontificating. I don't really know. I'm just saying, maybe. I don't know. Um, the women show up. They talk about what happened with Angela. Angela says that they're investigating it. A man paid that man to come and do that. Okay, we'll see where that goes. Britt walks in and Kelly ignores her. She speaks and Kelly ignores her again. She feels like she was there for her and it wasn't reciprocated. I do feel like there is some truth to that, but I also feel like um Kelly is looking for an opportunity to box Britt out. She is to set herself apart from her. And she should. I'm sorry, y'all. Like Kelly needs to set herself apart from Britt. Y'all came in together. Y'all were talking about being BFFs. Y'all wearing some of the same outfits and shit. Some separation needs to be made as far as I'm concerned, especially because it seems to me that Britt is not on the same level as Kelly. Last time I checked, Kelly seems to have a business that deal with like she's a brand ambassador for William and Sonoma. I think that's a huge deal. I think that shows how in real life Kelly is making her money. Like Kelly is taking the opportunities. Kelly is selling the pancake mix like it's crack, girl. And I'm not mad. I'm not mad at it at all. I feel like she's making her money. I don't understand why somebody would say she's not paying unless they were just trying to get back at her in some type of way. Like I can't trust Paris, the stylist. Yeah, I can't trust them. I can't trust them. Um, I also feel like the way Britt walked in with her cute little bob and her ass out looking really good. She looked really, really good. Um, I feel like it was her walking in like, see, girl, I took your stylist and I whipped that shit. And now it's giving way better than you can give, bitch. That's the vibe. That's the vibe that I feel like she was giving. And I didn't really like that because I feel like you still had to like use that lady's people. Like you couldn't get those people on your own. I also feel like um at some point there was nothing wrong with Kelly being annoyed that you are taking not just her makeup team but also her videographer and her photographer. And I know people were like, "Oh, I don't get it. Why can't you share?" And the other girls were like, "Oh, we share makeup people all the time." Yeah, okay, that's fine. But when it comes time for my person to be taking pictures and video of me and they have to split that time so that they can make sure they're taking pictures and video of you, which means I may not get the shot that I want, you need to get your own fucking team so that so that my team is not working both of us at the same time. And like I just kind of feel like it's okay for her to eventually get to a point where she's like, okay, like that's enough. That's enough. I feel like that's okay. I feel like there's nothing wrong with saying, okay, I'm tired of sharing my people with you because I feel like you're just taking advantage. I do feel like that Britt was taking advantage. I do. Oh, bitch, you want to help me? I'm a scammer. So anything you offer me, girl, you give me an inch, bitch, I'm gonna take a mile. I'm gonna take a mile, girl. I don't know what the issue is and why the stylist decided they wanted to side with Britt over Kelly, but I don't really care. I don't really care. The energy is given single black female. It is given that you can't afford to live the same type of lifestyle, so you're trying to destiny swap with that fucking lady, using her resources, copying her style, and then turning around and saying, "Nanny boo boo, I got your stylist, bitch." Like that's weird ass energy. That's weird ass energy. Um, let's see what else. Angela says a friend visited the man and he was paid by another. Okay, so it's given that Angela and them sent some goons around by that man to get the information that they needed. Again, like illegalities that I won't really press on. Kelly said maybe the people who didn't show up paid him because Britt, Porsha, and Cynthia didn't show up. I'm not sure who of those was actually invited, but we know that only Angela, Phaedra, and Drew went. Okay, so let's see. Kelly said maybe the people who didn't show up paid him. Britt and Kelly start going back and forth. Kelly calls Britt a pill popper. I don't know whether Kelly was saying to Phaedra, your roommate is a pill popper, because weren't they roommates on a trip? I couldn't tell whether she was saying that to Phaedra or was she saying that to Britt about her husband being a pill popper. Either way, I could believe it. Something about his face gives, are you asleep or what, nigga? So I'm not sure. Also, we said that he might like the boys, and we know how much the boys and the kids like to pop pills, right? Like, I think that, like, we can pretty much say that some of the kids like to pop pills, like based on, what we've heard, girl. Okay. The gay boys like to pop pills and fuck. I don't begrudge them. It's just a signifier. Okay. It's an identifier, girl. I was okay with Kelly ignoring Britt because she walked in on her, Diana Ross, look at me, bitch. Look at me, bitch. Okay, looking better than you, bitch. Look at me. I wasn't mad at her not speaking to her. I also feel like Kelly should have just went into the next room and not gave her any energy at all, because I could tell that Britt wanted the energy. Britt wanted to argue with her. Britt wanted that interaction so it could make Kelly look bad to even have that argument. If Kelly wanted to keep that head high and all of that, like she was trying to act like she was above Britt, she wouldn't have never even engaged with her. I would have went sat down and acted like I couldn't see her even further. I wouldn't have engaged in anything about or with her. That way she would have had to fight for that fucking moment. But you gave it to her. You gave it up too easy. So Kelly says the pill popper comment. Britt says you had all of those abortions during your marriage. So I know you can't tell people how low to go, but I do feel like the implications of popping pills is not the same thing as the implications of having abortions while pregnant. I also feel like I personally would have told her, what of it, bitch? I ain't want to have no more babies by that nigga. And obviously I shouldn't have. What of it? If it was the truth, I would have been like, and what's your point, bitch? I'm supposed to feel bad because I don't want to keep babies, but I didn't already have 4 and I don't want to keep no more babies. Or you trying to insinuate that I was cheating on that nigga and getting pregnant, and so I was having abortions to keep from having babies. Even if that was the case, so what? That nigga in jail right now. I shouldn't have been faithful to him. The fuck is your point? Like, I'm a Gemini. It's hard to make me feel bad because once I did some shit, I've connected to the reason why, and I am not gonna let anybody wrap up any of my decisions in their own shame. Fuck you. If I did it, I have a right to whether I feel shame about it or not. You don't have a right to take my life and tell me what to feel bad about. You do that with your own fucking life. Okay? Like when it comes to coochie, like, cause we're gonna have to have a conversation about how y'all love judging other people's coochie decisions, like y'all been making good coochie decisions y'all whole fucking lives or some shit. And oh, listen. Anyway, but that conversation, if I was Kelly, I would have handled that a totally different way. Like, you can't make me feel bad about no shit like that, bitch. Okay. Um, Kelly says it's time to go because she gonna put hands on her. Kelly said she got her tubes tied. So after she had her twin, she got her tubes tied. So there were no abortions. That was cap. That was a lie. And that's another reason why you don't argue with people who you deem are beneath you and scammers and shit, because they will lie in front of everybody and people will believe it simply because it's salacious. That's why you can't trust everybody. That's why you got to pay attention to when people have fucked up mentalities, meaning that they care so much about image and how they promote looking like they have money, but it doesn't really carry through for real. That's a disconnect. That's showing that they faking and that they fraudulent on some level. Once you peep that they faking and they fucking fraudulent, that should let you know you can't trust them. After Phaedra tells them about Londi and Shamia starts crying, Shamia gonna spend this whole, let me tell you something. This is the truth of it. The truth of it is that at some point, people like Shamia are, and I'm not saying it's about that, but just the way we feel like she crying the whole time, I think it's because she is solidified in her victimhood. I feel like she's solidified in her victimhood. Shamia has found a comfortable spot in being a victim, which is why she makes some of the decisions that she makes. Subconsciously, I think a lot of the time people are doing this shit subconsciously. They're not really doing it on purpose. But either way, girl, we're about to get into the extras that are going on the internet as it pertains to these ladies, because Porsha, girl, what the fuck? Like, it's really like, girl, what the fuck? Like, I'm tired of y'all and the bullshit. Okay. Let's see. Where do I want to start? Let's go here first to get this out the way, because I'm tired of this conversation. Things are getting messier between Britt Eady and Kelly Farrell. During a recent interview, Kelly addressed the drama on the latest episode of RHOA, denying claims that she ever discussed having an abortion with Britt. Her comments seem to suggest that Britt made it all up. That if that wasn't true the way she said, I can believe that Britt made that up, because Britt was trying to have a moment. She came there to have a moment. So you probably practice what lie that you would tell. Britt wasted no time responding. She jumped in the comments under the Bravo Shade Room and wrote, "She better keep it on the playground before I provide the receipts on who it was by while she was married. She don't want to go there." And see, I feel like that's some whack bitch shit. What you mean keep it on the playground? Bitch, put it out there. Put it out there so everybody could see how you is the ain't shit ass bitch as a friend. Because let me tell you something. Girl, the way I would stand there and be like, oh, wow, look how basic you are. Look how lame and desperate you are. Because what the fuck? I'm sorry, y'all. If you a real friend, I don't give a fuck. We just not going to be friends. I'm not about to do all that. That's too much to me. Because what's the point? What's the point? And I don't like what it says. I don't like you acting like, oh, what you trying to say, she was wrong because she cheated on him? Wasn't that nigga beating her ass? Wasn't he beating her ass? I don't give a fuck about nothing that lady did to him, because he put his hands on her. And he don't like to take care of his children. That man ain't shit. It ain't nothing you could tell me that Kelly did to that man that's going to make me give a fuck. Once we didn't seen that he was beating her, he didn't got arrested a couple of times when he didn't went to court. And he is not showing up for them children. Yeah. Ain't shit Kelly could do that's going to make me feel no type of way about that man. Girl, who cares? Who cares that she cheated on him? I'm sorry, y'all. That's how I feel. Who cares? Talking about she don't want to go there. But you didn't come to the fucking reunion. Okay? Shout out to Jamie. Jamie said, keep it on the playground, bitch. The playground was the reunion and you did not show up. The tension stems from a heated moment between the two where accusations of pill popping and abortions were thrown around. Oh, girl. But to me, don't threaten me with no fucking receipts. Post them. Post them, bitch. Post them. Get it on out there. Get it all out there. Get it all out there, bitch. Go ahead. Show us how you ain't shit, and nobody should ever trust you as a friend ever again. Go ahead. You ain't about to listen. You ain't about to wrap me up with my shit. I don't give a fuck enough. So Porsha Williams recreates scene from Waiting to Exhale after finalizing her divorce from Simon Guobadia. Y'all, I hate everybody that went along with this. I hate everybody that went along with this. I hate her and everybody that went along with this. And the reason why, hold up, y'all, let me refresh. The reason why I say that is because you were the other woman, bitch. You were not Bernadine. You were the white woman. Okay? You were, what was that lady name? Because I know her. Okay? I know her. She a good actress. She was on Jerry Maguire. Okay? That's what she was on. So she'll be further in the front on Jerry Maguire. Yeah, Kelly Preston. Shout out to the OG girl, Kelly Preston. Okay? Girl, you're Kelly Preston. You're Kelly Preston, girl. Hold up. Kelly Preston, Waiting to Exhale. What was Kelly Preston's name on Waiting to Exhale, girl? John, do you need it? Girl, would you mind getting the fuck out the way while I talk to my husband, bitch? Slap. Where's Kelly Preston at in this? I feel like they ain't even have her name nowhere. She was just the other woman. It's not John, bitch. Like I can't remember what Kelly Preston name was, but bitch, Porsha, you're Kelly Preston. You're not Angela Bassett. Please stop. Please, I forgot Kelly Preston passed away. Oh my God, I forgot about that. Nah, that was John Travolta's wife, y'all. Was it John Travolta's wife? Was she married to him? I thought she was married to somebody else. I know she was married to somebody famous. I just can't remember, y'all. Like, I be getting stuff mixed up sometimes. So y'all could be in these comments lying. Oh no, she was married to John Travolta. That's what I thought. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, I used to love me some Kelly Preston back in the day. She smacked the shit out of Jerry Maguire on Jerry Maguire. She did. She knocked the shit out that boy for playing with her. At the beginning of the Jerry Maguire movie, after he decided he didn't want to be with her, she did a full monologue where she went in on him and basically talked about how she was that girl and he didn't deserve her with his weak ass. And she was absolutely right. And so he went and got a weaker woman, Renee Zellweger's character. Okay. But yes, bitch, back to you, Porsha. Porsha, you are Kelly Preston. You are not Angela Bassett. Okay. You have this fucked up, ma'am. I'm tired of you co-opting shit. First it was Love Wins. First she co-opted Love Wins. Y'all remember that. That's for gay people, bitch. That's not for you. Co-opting people's real authentic messages and shit and corruptedly placing them on your mess. I don't like that. You bastardizing, waiting to exhale by being the other woman talking about, girl, what? Then piss me off. Let's hear what the goof troop had to say. Cause please understand that Porsha is a goof troop too. And if she hadn't got all that surgery done, she would still look like the goof troop that she was. Go back and look at that clip by Ashy during those years when the eyes were still drooping a little bit. Before she got everything pulled up tight. She was giving goofy. She was giving goofy. Think about it. Big teeth, big titties, big ass, country, walking around flat foot and shaking ass, acting slow. Like they don't know when they doing something nasty in front of everybody. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Everybody, there's a prototype of woman that Porsha fits, and everybody is like a level in that prototype. So if Porsha is a refined version of that goof troop, think about, God forgive me, Letitia, Married to Medicine, the young girl, Sweet Tea. They even look alike. That's what I'm talking about. Big titties, big ass, flat feet, walking hard. You know, just a lack of you know what I'm saying? Just a lack of overall decorum about themselves in some respect. Okay, yes. I think Porsha and Sweet Tea are on the same goof troop. God forgive me. God forgive me. Because I'm not saying this in a like I am saying it, but that's not it. I'm just trying to make y'all feel what I mean. T got a flapjack. Just because your ass is flat doesn't mean it's not big. Clock that. Just because your ass is flat does not mean that it's not big. Clock that. It's a whole bunch of big bitches walking around with a dip off the side of the mountain type of ass, right? I don't know if you've ever seen it. But the ass be sitting up high, and then it's when it starts to go down, it takes a sharp. It takes a sharp turn. Okay? Everybody's body's beautiful. I want to be very clear. Everybody's body is beautiful. Flat asses, fat asses, muscle cars, thick thighs, the culture, nigga. Like, it's all great. It's all beautiful. Everybody's body is worthy of love and appreciation, no matter what it looks like. As long as it's clean. Okay? Because we can't be out here like, oh, it's beautiful. It's not clean. That's not, no, I need you to care about it. You know what I'm saying? how you care about your body, how you reflect how you feel about your body. You know what I'm saying? But again, same level, goof troop. Okay, it's not everything not gonna be exact. That's why I said it's a spectrum. Okay, it's a spectrum, and Porsha is on the higher end of that spectrum, and Sweet Tea is somewhere in the middle of that spectrum, right? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Exactly. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. That's why I said, and I'm really, I'm more so talking about women when I say this. I don't want men to think that their bodies are beautiful like women's. I just don't. You know why? Because y'all can't handle that type of stuff. Now I realize all of the things that men would try to do to women to make us not be so big headed. We actually have to like reverse that shit onto them. Like, you have to. You have to tell niggas like, sir, you're a little fat. I don't know why you're talking. Like, you're a little out of shape, son. You know what I'm saying? You got to talk about it. Why is it grainy? Because it's storming out here, y'all, and shit is fucking up. Before we get into this Porsha portion, let me refresh my page, y'all. Hold up. Okay, I think that might have helped. I think that might have helped you guys. We'll see. The bar started out high. Now they're going low. I hope that helped though. We'll see. All right, hold up. Let's get back into this Porsha. This Porsha shit, girl. Let's get back into this Porsha shit. I think my next members only, I'm going to break down that B Simone conversation with her homegirl. I still want to go back to that conversation about Sham Booty podcast. I really want to go back to that one I wanted to do 2 weeks ago because I still want to do it. So I might try to get like a couple of those done, but like maybe not be on camera so that I can, do them downstairs. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into Porsha on people.
I can't connect with other men. It's like people trying to introduce me, but it's just when it's not the same, it's not the same. So I'm going to do it different this time. I'm going to be alone until I'm whole. And then when I'm whole, then I will, open myself back up so I don't make the same mistake again. When you go through a bad enough breakup, you're like, I don't like nobody. Like, you're like, I don't like nobody. I was sitting there, I was like, do I like women enough? Can I get with a woman? Like, who can come in and fill this void? Like,
You have to fill the void for yourself, Porsha. But then you would have to stop being so vapid. And I don't know if you have the capacity, because sometimes people don't have the capacity to look within and be honest with themselves about who they are.
oh my God, somebody, I have got to be able to sit with someone and feel a part of what I felt with him. But I don't yet. It'll come. It'll come. But I'm like,
So do we think that Porsha was actually being like emotionally manipulated by Dennis Daddy? Because a part of me feels like yes, and a part of me feels like no. A part of me feels like yes, and a part of me feels like no. And the reason why I say that is because I feel like men are who they are. I think that Simon is a scammer, a gamer, a Mac, a manipulator, and I think that he's good at it. And I don't think that Porsha is smart enough to recognize when she's being gamed, because a lot of women live in delusion. They don't live in the real world. That delusion suits their ego a lot of the times, but it also gets them caught up in situations where they end up having to deal with the person that they chose. And if they weren't so vapid, and if they did search for deeper things in a person, they may have chosen a different type of man. And the only reason I'm saying that is because of their ages. He's older and she's 40 something years old. At this point, at this point, a man that would dog out the previous woman the way Simon did, getting online, talking all of that shit, that should have been unattractive to you. As a grown woman, a man getting on the internet to keep running his fucking mouth should have been unattractive to you. It's unattractive to me. I don't mind a man being on social media. I don't mind a man, engaging in social media, especially if he actually has something to say and you can tell that there's some thought and they have something to say because they've learned something. There are men who I do feel like are out here speaking from that standpoint, but most men are just speaking because they want to be heard, not because they have anything of value to say. And the way he talks and the way he just runs his mouth, it's because he just wants to feel seen and heard, not because he actually has anything honest to say. Even when he's talking about the love of these women, we can see that it's not real, because the way you treat them so quickly after you've posted something about how great they are should let us know that you're lying and you don't really love them or value them the way you pretend to, but you know that you must put on a performance in order to get what you want to get out of them, whatever that may be. I think for every woman, it's different. I think he's just the type of man to always be trying to find a way to get over on somebody. And sometimes the easiest person to get over on is a thirsty, male identified woman, because the things that they want for themselves are not really based in anything healthy. What they want for themselves usually doesn't require anything deep. You want a man with money. You want to go on trips. Does he like you? Do you like him? Is it fun being on trips with him? Is it always fun? Does he talk down on you? Does he curse at you? Is he mean to the wait staff? Is he disrespectful to other people? How does he treat people? A lot of y'all don't care about that. In all honesty, you don't even want your man to be nice to other people because it makes you feel like he may cheat on you. And sometimes that's the case. But I also feel like it's a signifier that he's not a good person. So it's only a matter of time that you're going to find out that he's not a good person. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like when women are willing to say fuck everybody else, even though like the woman is being treated badly and you could be treated that way, you're still willing to jump off the fucking porch. I can identify that Simon is a bad guy and then also still place accountability at Portia's feet, because how many times are you going to have to learn that you can't cheat your way out of this life? And I do feel like sometimes y'all finding some man to take care of y'all in perpetuity, that's a trick bag y'all keep falling for. It's not real. It's not real. You're going to have to do some of this work on your own, no matter how you don't want to do it. You're going to have to do some of this work on your own so that you can be free. People don't understand that. There's more work in freedom, but I think that freedom is sometimes way more valuable. It kind of puts a sparkle on damn near any and everything if you are somebody that's actually free. Your interactions with people, how you connect with people. I do get how people get to a certain point where sex is not so important and the connection that they're looking for is not even really about the sex. They're looking for connection and what that feels like. And a lot of us don't even know how to vocalize that or what that feels like for real. So we get confused when people are basically setting us up to go through a cycle of abuse, of breadcrumbing, the dentist method. Okay? Demonstrating value. What is it? Girl, what's the dentist method? I'm always forgetting. I'm always forgetting, even though I took a screenshot of that shit so I can tell y'all about the dentist method. Demonstrate value, engage physically, nurturing dependency, neglect emotionally, inspire hope, and then separate entirely. And that's how you get a woman to start chasing you. That's how you get anybody to start chasing you. There's literally a psychology that can be dumbed down, and y'all wonder how and why so many of these men have figured out how to do the same shit, no matter how poor, no matter how rich, no matter black, white, Asian. Everybody has figured out a way to do the same shit. It is because it is built into the framework of what it means to be a man, is to find a way to create these dynamics with women. Like, and y'all know what I mean when I say that, meaning that women do this as well. Gay people do this as well. Like, but it's still a thing that's built into how we view the masculine. Okay. Which is the masculine should be able to manipulate the feminine. And then when you have somebody like Porsha that uses her femininity in a manipulative way, and people can see that about her, it's like you want to see her as this bad guy in a way that would absolve the man. But because she's the front facing person, and because of the way people like to infantilize people like her, it's not the same. But I think we're all on the same page when we see how disingenuous and fake and phony and kind of like a full of shit person Porsha is. I feel like most of us see that, whether we want to like agree it or not. I think we all see that. So I can recognize that that man she decided to tie herself to was terrible, but why would you tie yourself to him after you already went through that? Because you want to be delusional and live in la la land? Okay. Okay, girl. Okay.
You know, and I think that now that I'm realizing that, because what I've decided is that I'm not going to look for it anymore. So I'm not going to like push myself into dating or anyone or trying to figure out, you know, who do I like? Who could I be around? Because this is probably also part of healing. I mean, just sitting with this.
Yes.
Sitting with being alone. Yes. Sitting with the loss and let myself heal the loss. And I know I'm crying right now, but I feel good every day, each day. I get better each day.
Because narcissistic abuse is, draining. I think it doesn't matter that she has narcissistic personality disorder herself. I do feel like when two narcs get together, one will out narc the other. I feel like she got out narked, basically. Okay, so that's what's going on with her. Let's see what else is going on. Okay, so y'all remember she said that she paid Simon Gwabadi as child support, and we were all on the internet aghast. Like, why would you get with a nigga with money so that you could pay his child support? That's wild, girl. That seems to defeat the purpose. Girl, I don't know why we would do that at all. I don't know what that was about. That seems stupid. Unless you was trying to convince the courthouse that you are, let's see, virtuous, and that you paid for something for him. So that's the reason why they should be willing to make him pay money to you. That's what I'm imagining. I don't know. Let me see.
Simon's first wife, Marsha said, I heard that Porsha said I reached out begging for child support. Untrue. This is the message I received from her. So I downloaded.
Oh, wait, hold up. Simon's ex-wife Marsha is calling out Porsha after Porsha claimed under oath that Marsha contacted her asking. She said she contacted Lauren, asked her asking for help paying $5,000 in child support, but Marsha says that's not true, and she has receipts. According to the messages Marsha shared, she only reached out to Porsha to coordinate getting her son's belongings after Porsha sent them back to her following the separation. One of the texts even mentions a bookshelf for the boys. Marsha insists she never begged for child support and says Porsha twisted the situation. I'm sure she did.
The messages. Hold on. Here it is. So this is from Porsha. Y'all see this? This is from Porsha. Porsha says, hi, Marsha. This is Porsha. I got your number from Lauren, my assistant. She said you...
Girl, not Lauren, your assistant. Not Lauren, your assistant. I'm telling y'all right now, Porsha's a piece of shit, y'all. Lauren is her. Is it Lauren, her assistant? Oh, yeah. Okay. All right, y'all. My bad. I was about to be like, bitch, you still calling that lady your assistant? But I forgot she went and got a actual assistant who has the same name as her sister, who also used to be her assistant. Oh, girl, I was about to go off. All right.
Called about asking about the bookshelf for the boys. Now you remember I told y'all that Porsha had put the boys out, right? The boys had rooms there. The boys had a nanny there. The boys would go to and from school there. So the mama was trying to get it. So she said, you call asking about the bookshelf for the boys. I'm going to have her coordinate a time with you so that we can send what the boys want from, hold on, from their room. Also, I know it's a sensitive topic, but if there are, this is Porsha now. Also, I know it's a sensitive topic, but if there are any issues, if you haven't received child support since Simon's been away, I'm happy to take care of the child support for him. So Porsha said the mama reached out to her saying that Simon hadn't paid no child support. And apparently it's Porsha reaching out to the mom, asking the mom about Marsha is Simon's first wife, their room. Also, I know it's a sensitive topic, but if there are, this is Porsha now.
Other expenses that you.
Okay, so basically, no.
Also, I know it's a sensitive topic, but if there are any issues, if you haven't received child support since Simon's been away, I'm happy to take care of the child support for him. So Porsha said the mama reached out to her saying that Simon hadn't paid no child support. And apparently it's Porsha reaching out to the mom, asking the mom about the child support. Okay, now listen. Hold on. This is diabolical. Porsha had a plan, honey. She said, I'm happy to take care of the child support for him just because I love those boys and I just want to make sure they get what they need. And then the mama said, hi, Porsha. Christian asked about his books again today. So he will be very happy to get this. So their room.
Okay, I don't know what else we were supposed to derive from that. Okay, so Porsha offered to pay. It's probably so that she could look good to the judge. That's what I'm assuming from her doing that. But I also feel like I don't know what's diabolical about it. Like the fuck, girl, what's diabolical about it? She wants to look good in a standing of the court, and so she's offering to pay child support. I also feel like, why are y'all acting like them kids shouldn't go back to their mom? The daddy ain't here, so they don't need to be here. I think that's weird. Like, she's not their primary parent. They should go back to their mother once the daddy is not there. And everybody acting like something is wrong with that. Yeah, no. I wouldn't want to be in the house with Porsha. I don't give a fuck how nice and big the house is. I would want to be with my mom. Like, why would I want to be in the house with a bitch instead of being home with my mom now that my dad ain't here? Like, what you mean? Like, she kicked them out? Like, did she kick them out, or was it best for them to go back to their fucking mom's house? Like, now that they daddy not here. The fuck? And it sound like they've been gone since the separation. So that might not have even been her. That might have been Simon's ass wanting them to go back by the mama now that he not gonna have a woman there raising them children for him. Like, who knows? But either way, they need to be with their mama. They don't need to be at the house with her. Fuck wrong with y'all? Y'all be weird trying to, like, you don't have to make Porsha the bad guy. Just let her do it on her own. You don't have to make her the bad guy. I feel like, Michelle was trying to make Porsha the bad guy in that reading, in the way she was saying something about diabolical. Bitch, what's diabolical about it? Like, people want to look good in front of a fucking judge. Like, that's what they should be trying to do. Like, who is that hurting for her to look good in front of that judge? That ain't hurt nobody. But Simon ain't shit. So I don't know. I don't know, girl. I can't act like I give a fuck. Yeah, that bitch body look good. And this is why they all mad. I mean, you can have a beautiful body all day, but that doesn't mean that you're a good person. It doesn't mean you're a happy person. Like, that's inner work you have to do. And you might have a beautiful body, bitch, but nothing about you screams I'm happy or fulfilled with myself. You seem messy and vapid. Like, that's what it seemed like to me. Let's see. Shamia responded, I was happy to be there to support my friend who is Kelly on one of the toughest days of her life. I'm so happy that divorce is final. Now let's get down to business. Number 1, I've never used Kelly Stylist. Number 2, I've never shown lying ass Brit any text. Porsha and I not going out to celebrate me having a peach was discussed at her Pampered by Porsha event. Brit is grasping for straws at this point. Number 3, I never bring up what someone does or does not do with their body. Screaming someone has had an abortion was out of line and way below the belt. Was that not what y'all was doing when y'all was insinuating that Drew was sucking dick? Was that not what y'all was doing? Is that not what y'all was doing? You be full of shit sometimes, Shamia, but I'm actually willing to believe that Brit lied about that. I am. Cause I feel like you had your own people, dressing you weirdly and shit. So let's see, what did Brit say?
Honestly, this was the one episode that I did not look forward to. The one episode where I wish that if I could not take it back, but I'm just disappointed with what truly transpired and very hurt by the things that were said.
You know also how I am. Well, she tried to call me a pill popper. Hey, if you gonna dish it, be sure to take it. That whore bitch. She's a hoe.
Is there backstory there? Did she pull this out of nowhere?
Let me just always say this. It's my body and my choice. Nothing has transpired with Britt and I where, I had talked to her about abortions. I had her pick me up from an abortion, it wasn't anything that happened between her and I where that was discussed ever out of any moment or time in our friendship. And it's hurtful that she would just blatantly come on national television and tell a lie. I am a mother of 4 beautiful daughters. She's not beautiful daughters. She's not a mother, unfortunately. Yeah. And I have to now have that conversation with all of my daughters because it's something that was talked about on the show. And it's hurtful that someone that I once called a friend to me would take a lie and say that, and almost would have people to believe them because MVP.
Okay, I know. I can't take that background music that they have playing. That's bothering me deeply. Let me see. Is there anything else that I wanted to discuss about this? I don't think so. What's this? Porsha season 6.
If you don't like me, that's fine. But, watch your mouth.
If she ain't gonna give nothing, she gonna give a look. If she ain't gonna give nothing, y'all, that girl gonna give you a look. Okay. Whether I do think bringing up, I do think bringing up terminating pregnancies is, I just, as a woman, I would never bring that up. Like, not like that, not in that way. Like, girl, so what? So what? Terminating pregnancies is a form of controlling birth. It is. I know a lot of y'all, y'all I think that women should be in control of whether they have children or not. And I think it is up to them. I don't care. I don't care, girl. And so for me, I feel like it wasn't even something to throw in somebody's face in the first place. Like, it's a weird thing to throw in somebody's face. And I think the fact that was some whack bitch shit to say. Now, you being a pill popper or you being with a pill popper, that's a little bit more of a you thing. Like oh, girl, you out here buying pill, that nigga out here buying pill, that's why you look like that. Huh? Messy, yes. Not right, no. But I think it's a little different. But I'm also somebody that feels like, hey, I'll go to hell on you, but I won't lie on you. And I feel like Brit be lying on people, and that's why I don't really like her. Because I don't like people that go to hell and lie. Like, just go to hell with the truth. Usually the truth is just as damning, if not more, than a lie that you tell. So you might as well just tell the truth. But yeah, no, we're very pro-choice around these parts. If you're not pro-choice, you probably shouldn't really be over here. Like, no disrespect, but this is not a place for that. Because I said what I said. You know what I'm saying? Because babies, like, you can die, like, and people be out here arguing about these things as if it matters. The only person who should be dictating what happens is the one who could possibly die in the process of that child being born. That's the only person who should be deciding what happens. The only. Okay. And that's just my business, you know. That's just my business. I feel like Kelly is flip-floppy and messy. Um, I do feel like she does a lot, but this is a reality show. And if she wasn't doing her particular brand of a lot, then we would be bored. There's nothing really happening in the personal story. So if we're not making a big deal out of small moments on camera, what the fuck else are we doing? Okay. The only Chelsea, thank you for becoming a member, love. Kevin Preston, thank you for being a member for 3 months. I personally want people to realize that the nuclear family isn't for everyone and to stop pushing it on people and making them feel less than. No, for real. Not only is it not for everybody, it's also like isolating. Like, it's not the healthiest form of family that we could possibly have. And a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people have multi-generational dwellings, and that's more communal, and we just don't realize it. Like, I think we should live in our own houses, but I think we should live, you know, close to our family and shit like that, especially when we have children. But they make it hard to do that. Takesha Payne, thank you for becoming a member. Kimi Kim, thank you for being a member for 20 months. Kelly responded to someone on Twitter saying she was talking to Phaedra about Brit. Oh, that's what I thought. Like, when she first said it, I thought she was saying to Phaedra, get your roommate, your pill popping roommate, because they were roommates on that trip to Grenada. That's what I thought. So that makes sense, because that's what I thought was happening. Jay Ray, thank you for the super chat. Porsha mentioning swimming in a lady pond, confirming our suspicions. Her and Shamia hunch. Candy did say she was aggressive. Yeah, she's definitely, and she needs to go. I think she should really go ahead and try to experience that. I think she should be by herself to heal, because if not, she's going to just go and create a heteronormative relationship with some woman. But I do think that it is something that she might actually really want to do, and she should think about that. Um, because a lot of times for women, our sexuality is gateways to unlocking who we are in more ways than we know. Sex is like a portal for women a lot of the time when we go, you know, it just depends when. But like, you can have sex sometimes and come out on the other side of it a different person than you were before you started it. That's happened to me like a couple of times. So I definitely feel like there's something to be said for exploring that to figure out who you are for real. I think Porsha was probably never really allowed to figure out if she likes girls. That's not something that her family would promote. They would promote you finding some rich man to take care of you before they promoted you being a lesbian girl, even if sexually you are. I never experienced that. It's quite the experience. And I feel like you're saying that, but you have. If you've ever had sex for the first time, you were not the same after, right? If you ever had the sex that got you pregnant, you were never the same again, right? You know what I'm saying? And for people whose sexuality is not linear, meaning they're bisexual or they like women, they have to have these sexual experiences before they can figure that out for themselves completely. So you are a different person on one side of it than when you're on the other side of it, because now you figured out whether you like it or not. And most of the time, you know, you like it. And so then that births a different version of yourself, probably closer to who you really are if you're not, you know, in a space of you know, hiding from yourself. But yeah. Adrian Booker, thank you for the super chat. I'm late, but did you see Carlos' interview with Angela? Apparently Phaedra is who sent Marcus about Angela and Charles. That's what a lot of people were saying, and I can believe it because she's messy. I have not seen it. I'm gonna go check it out when I get off of here. Lisa Mooney, thank you for the super chat. I felt like Kelly told her glam team and they told Britt. Britt used it. Kelly was calling Britt a pill popper, not her husband. That's what I thought, girl. That's what I thought. And yeah, I do feel like that's probably what happened. With Kelly telling her glam team, y'all doing too much. I need y'all to stop. And then the glam team, because I see my bars are really low, y'all. It's unstable internet, and it's probably because of the storming that happened earlier. But yeah, out of this, I see that Kelly is a social climber. I can see that Kelly is a social climber. I can see that Kelly is just trying to fit in where she get in. I think both of them took that mentality coming on this show. Britt did it with Porsha and Kelly did it with Shamia. But I still do not like Britt far more than I don't like Kelly. And that's just because I don't like that type of personality in a woman. Like, she really does make it all about her all the time. I don't feel like Kelly does that. I don't think Kelly makes it about her all the time. I think she absolutely knows what it's like to show up for people and play backseat to them and be a supporting character. I think she knows how to be a supporting character. I think Britt knows how to pretend to be a supporting character. And that's what we saw with Shamia. When Shamia was, crying, and then Britt gets down on her knees. I'll always be there for you. I'll always be there for you. Like, she was doing all of that. Like, yeah. Wants to fuck you. Shut up. She just wants to fuck you. Shut up. Because all these hoes is gay. I just want y'all to know. Britt's gay, Shamia's gay, Portia's gay, Phaedra's gay, Drew's gay, Cynthia's gay. And depending on how Kelly and Angela get down, they might also, be gay. And I don't see anything wrong with it. I just like to point it out because women are, everybody's always pretending to be straight. Like, everybody's always like identifying themselves as straight. Like, oh, I'm straight, I'm strictly dickly and all of this shit. But they do very homoerotic things with women because they want to have sex with women. They are physically turned on by women. They like all girl porn, type of shit like that. Okay. But I'm gonna tell y'all, the reason why I like all girl porn also is because porn with men is rapey. And that's something I had to come to as I've gotten older. In my maturity, some things now I don't like the way it looks. It looks like you want to hurt her, not that you want her to enjoy it. Like, I can't tell y'all how many times I've seen videos of women running. Like, and they're running because it hurts, not because it feels good. Like, niggas, oh, she running. She's running because it hurts. And it hurts. But somehow you think that's a good thing. It's weird. And it's not until you have sex with somebody that knows how to use their dick that you figure out that sex is not supposed to be painful and that men are actually supposed to be able to move your eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes. Okay. Like, you're supposed to be able to move that shit in a way that is pleasurable. It usually will make a woman feel like, she's going retarded or some shit. I don't even know how else to explain it. But okay. Like, that's the only way you can like explain it. But outside of that, like, penises are painful. Penises are painful. And so I feel like a lot of the times these niggas don't know what they're doing. A lot of times these niggas don't know what they're doing. They're just like putting it in there. You got to tell them to slow down. Slow down. Okay, Fee, thank you for being a member. There are similarities in how Giselle and Porsha act in regards to sexuality. Absolutely. It's the pretty closeted woman. Because Giselle gives gay. Giselle gives, there is a group of gay people that don't want to admit that they're gay, but what they do is keep other people around them who they think is sexually attracted to them. Giselle thought Robin was sexually attracted to her, so she keeps Robin around. Porsha knows that Shamia is sexually attracted to her. She keeps Shamia around. But yeah, I know people in real life that they are not brave enough to actually be gay, but they are turned on by attracting the same sex. And it's because they're gay, but in this society, y'all, stay making everything fucking taboo as if it hasn't been going on for millennia. Y'all are tiring with that stupid shit. But I'm gonna let y'all be convinced that shit that don't matter. Like people being gay or how they gender themselves. None of that shit matters. But I'm gonna let y'all think it does because y'all like to argue and tussle, and I don't care. What else Fee said? It's telling that they're good friends. Shamia is Robin and Porsha is yes, girl, yes. I hate that I didn't even read that and I picked that up from what you were saying automatically. Yes, girl, I can see it. I could absolutely see it. And then Giselle, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if Giselle was a stud, girl, Giselle would have been able to pull me. And who could, like, I've seen studs that look like Giselle. I've actually If I could go find, because I don't think Ashley is anywhere. I have not found Ashley. My first girlfriend was a chick named Ashley. She's half Puerto Rican, half black. She has a certain type of face shape that's similar with that, like, they have jaws. They have like these cute little jaws. But yeah. Like Giselle's face reminds me of my first girlfriend's face. That's very, very interesting. I wish I could find it. So I know what that looks like in a stud, and they do the most. Studs who look like Giselle are like your worst. Like they're the worst thing ever, right? Like the girls out there who know what I mean, they know what I mean. Like those girls are the fucking worst. You add masculine appeal to beautiful women and they lose their fucking minds. It's the yes, Ty. It's a few of them. It's a few like masculine presenting women that, like, if you are on that side and you're bisexual, you date women, you know that these women are like the player men, like the men who are good looking and smell good and they're players. Like these used to only exist in the 90s. Like I haven't seen these men in a long time. I don't know. I feel like y'all stopped making these men, which is so upsetting. A lot of these men are married because some woman, found that man and married him. But there is a group of men, and they don't even have to be light skinned, okay? But in the 90s, there was a player type of man that I think Bill Bellamy encompassed the style of that type of man. And he, from the 90s. And those men were good at sex. Those men knew how to be players. They knew how to, like, coax women emotionally, like those types of niggas. There are women who are studs that are the same type of energy as those types of men. And anybody that knows anything about those types of men is like, as a woman, you have got to run, girl. You got to run. You can't get caught up by those types of men, because those types of men will have you out here. They will have you out here bad. Somebody reposted from one of my last lives talking about how y'all hoes be up here acting like y'all don't understand how these women end up in these abusive situations. And I'm like, y'all ain't never been fucked by nobody like real bad. I be so confused. I be so confused by y'all sometimes. I'm like, it's given a lot of people haven't had like ridiculously good sex, because I feel like a lot of times I ended up in fucked up shit, like because them niggas or them women was like doing the most, like absolutely doing the absolute most. But it's no fun. I love it. No, for real. Those men are usually the best types, but they are the worst. They're the worst. They're the worst. Because they have too many good things about them in order for you to not fall in love with that type of shit. That's why you can't deal with them, because you gonna fall for them, and then you're gonna want to like put them in a damn, like you're capturing a butterfly or some shit. You're gonna try to capture them niggas, and I want all of this good dick for myself, girl. And men like that are not supposed to just be for y'all. I hate to tell y'all like this, but just in general, the player type niggas, like the women lock them up, but them niggas usually always still cheat because they shit be too good to keep to one person. Women are going to apply pressure, and they're going to always want to, like, get high off of giving some woman that experience, because the rest of these niggas don't know what they doing. So the subset group of player niggas love to come behind the old rough and tumble ignorant ass nigga who was just merely poking your insides. Okay, he's gonna come in and dick you slow, and you're gonna go retarded, is what I like to call it. Okay. Yeah, you have to share those men. You have to, and then you have to be okay with sharing them. And the reason why I say that is because when you try to keep them for yourself, you'll destroy yourself trying to do it. I do. I feel like you have got to let those men just, you got to let them go out. They come back in sometimes, and then you got to set them out free into the world. You got to wear condoms with them. Okay. You got to be safe, but you cannot hold those types of people down, because you will destroy yourself. The feeling that you will feel every time that they cheat on you, okay, it's going to tear your ass up. You can't want to lock them niggas down. Wasn't that true? I said a lot of shit. Fuck that. A bitch isn't the prize. I'm not saying you not the prize. I'm just talking about how this shit actually works in real life. And in real life, when men be out here coming behind niggas that don't know what they doing, because most of these niggas don't know what they doing, okay? We was talking about this in my members only. Duckworth. The reason why Duckworth is getting over with flipping all of the queer girls is because women really don't care about that masculine shit the way they pretend to. They really don't. They act like they care about that shit, but a lot of women don't, because usually the men that are not so masculine are easier to deal with. Nobody wants to be with you hyper masculine niggas. Y'all need to go to jail. All of you hyper masculine niggas, y'all need to go to prison where other hard niggas live. Okay? If y'all want to be out here with the rest of us, some of y'all niggas need to learn how to get comfortable with your femininity. And if there's a woman out there that is gonna try to like make you less of a man for it, like just basically suck my dick. We can prove how much a man I am then. I won't even be mad if a woman tries to act like you acting like a woman or something like that just because you're being yourself. And I'm not talking about you niggas being disrespectful and sassy, because y'all know how y'all like to take shit and run with it. What I mean is there a whole bunch of women that every time a man do something, oh, that's gay, that's gay, that's gay. You not a man, you not a man. Girl, all that shit, suck my dick. That's how I would feel. If I was a man, you couldn't punk me into not like enjoying a level of femininity about myself, because it allows for me to be closer to women. If I want to be closer to women, I need to be able to deal with women at their level, which means a man should have a certain level of femininity when it comes to emotional intelligence, when it comes to how he is clean, when it comes to the way he smells, when it comes to the way he cooks, when it comes to the way he keeps a house. That's why player niggas, like, there's a level of femininity that checked off boxes. Also, hypermasculine men are scared to actually explore sex because they're so scared of looking gay. Niggas that's not scared to explore sex freak hoes minds out. Okay? That's why you gotta be careful around pimp player type niggas, because they know what women actually like based on how other niggas do it wrong. They can't even suck a straw without saying pause. Like, what is that? Like, nigga, stop. Like, just stop. No, I do feel like all of those rough and tumble, angry ass, hyper masculine, got something to prove niggas. Y'all all need to go to war or y'all need to go to jail. But y'all need to get the fuck away from women. I think men that have a certain level of femininity in the way that they can deal with women, I do feel like those are safer men to be around. Duckworth is that type of nigga where y'all might not even think that nigga straight, but the way he is presenting himself in an expressive manner that might be considered feminine means he is fucking the coochie up, and you can't tell me no different. Duckworth is a rapper, and I did a breakdown of him and Shan Booty's conversation on her podcast, and he talked about how he's a player and how he hurts all of these women, and he gets this from watching his dad cheat on his mom, and then his dad leaves the household and he's there with his sisters. And you know, people like, because I know the niggas that I grew up around, the men I grew up around used to always act like that's why these niggas is feminine, because they didn't been raised around women and girls. And there's a level of that's true, but that's not a bad thing. Those were also men that did drugs and abused their wives. So I don't think anybody should be caring about how they felt about masculinity and femininity, because they weren't getting it right. Okay? So I remember hearing that a lot. When I see how that shows up in men, if you're not like hung up on all of these hyper masculine things in men, they will freak you the fuck out. Like, I just mean, like, they will be player. They will catch you up mentally. They will have conversations with you that make you feel like y'all are connecting. They, you know, that's why I feel like New Orleans men have this game down really, really good when it comes to knowing how to like mac women when, you know, being clean. And I'm not, y'all, they're not out there as much as they used to be. I'm old. But like I clean, I cook, I know how to hold a conversation, I read books, niggas. Oh my God. Those are the men that catch up like my you know, area of women. Like, I'm just saying. But Duckworth is the type of personality that the women would be like, oh, he's too feminine or whatever. And then the queer girls are like, well, I don't really care about that. So that they go get with this nigga. And then he end up doing that player shit to them. Like, having them dicked out. Having them dicked out on the end. What y'all think be going on with Kevin Gates? Kevin Gates performs hypermasculinity because he's toxic, but he knows there's a level of femininity that he has to have in order to be good at getting in women's minds the way he does. That spirituality, they throw spirituality, good sex, and you gotta know vulnerability, but they weaponize it. They weaponize those things against women, but they know that that's how you get women. Like, you have to have a level of femininity about your game, about your Mac. That's where smoothness comes in. Men are not smooth all on their own. Men become smooth when they learn from femininity. Like, I'm just saying, right? Stay in the light. You aren't actively dating men. I'm telling you. Oh no, sweetheart. Please don't misunderstand me. I said these are men from the 90s. And I'm literally talking about like a small group of niggas that I know, and I still feel like them niggas ain't shit. Okay? But women are usually getting a better experience with them, even though they ain't shit. I'm very well aware that there are not a lot of men like I'm talking about out in the street. That's why I said these is men from the 90s that I'm talking about. And they show up ever so often. They went to a Catholic school. You know what I'm saying? They were taught that reading books and going to school and being smart is a good thing. So they have a different perspective. Kevin Gates is one of those people. Kevin Gates went to college, y'all. Like, from what I remember. If I'm remembering correctly, the reason why my crew know him is because of LSU. So these men, they look dumb, but they're not. They're pretending to be dumber than they are because that's how you scare other men off of you. Okay? Bondi, I be nervous because you be describing my husband. He's such a player type, but he's also respectful and loyal. But I don't know. I'm attracted to that. There's nothing wrong with that, though. Don't be nervous. That's a good thing. That's a good thing that they be like that. You should like be attracted to them in that way. I do think that's a better situation. Actually want your person than being with somebody you don't really want for whatever reasons. Okay. So I think it's very important to be attracted to the person, okay, and to be into them in that way. And also to get good sex out of marriage. Because to me, I don't even understand what anybody's doing. Like, I don't understand what's the point of being with people if the sex is not good. That's a waste of time. You got to have a sense of confidence and self-esteem to deal with a man like that. Most women like hyper tough guys because a part of them don't think another woman will find that to be desirable. Yes, like this nigga mean and disrespectful, so I can have him to myself. And when you with somebody that's player, you do have to have a certain amount of confidence about yourself to let them be who they are without making that an issue. Because charismatic people are charismatic people. Okay. But that's the equal thing because men can't deal with that from women either, which is why they go get with like church mom, laid back, more so type women so that they can be in the spotlight without feeling like they're competing. Okay. But you see them niggas don't go get with women that be shaking that shit down. Like, they don't go get with women that's using they shit in the same manner as they are. They always go try to get them some church woman. Okay, look, let me go find me one last one to dickmatize before I get on out of here. Let me go ahead and dickmatize me a real good one that I like. You know what I'm saying? Well, fuck her to dear God, and hopefully she'll stay with me until I die. That's how a lot of them be thinking, I'm sure. When I was younger, I had that selfish sex with no orgasm. I had to stop that and started telling men they suck. Oh yeah, you gotta tell these niggas they suck. Angela Yee was with Plies. Oh, that makes sense. Angela Yee's a bird, and people just don't recognize it because of featureism, colorism, and thinking people are slightly better because they're biracial. And I know we don't want to admit that, but a lot of the times you give people more of a benefit of the doubt if they show up like Angela Yee, but really she's a thought just like her friends. And that's no disrespect. Like, and when I say that, pick me energy. You should know better, but you still are turned on and attracted to violent, disrespectful ass men. The way that Gucci situation, she will never live that Gucci situation down to me, because to me, you was flirting with that man and he played you in a way that you should have never even given his ugly ass a chance to. Like, and that goes with being a pick me. You always got to know that you can't trust these niggas. I don't care how much they try to act like they're your friends. They will play you out as soon as another nigga comes into the room. And yeah, she surrounds herself with a certain type of woman. You know she's a pick me. Okay. Let me see. Because I'm just having a good conversation with y'all right now. I ain't ready to get off. But I'm about to go. Because I need to go take my dog out. Okay, where was I? And if they get you, and if they get with you and you are in the spotlight, they will try to break you. They will try to break you. They call us flirty for being nice, and that's so weird. No, for real. Like I'm not about to not be who I am because you are insecure. Like I'm not about to do that. So you need to get comfortable or get the fuck from around me. I'm not gonna be closing up my spirit so you could feel like I belong to you, like I'm some fucking object or something like that. Like, get a job or something. I don't know, do something else. How do you feel about her co-host Gigi? Mm-mm, mm-mm. I said the girls are pick me's over there. Hey Talia. You're making me think about Love and Marriage Detroit with that gym owner, preacher dude and his wife, handsome guy who got with pretty but chill wife. And then let me tell you something. I feel like eventually them people gonna get a divorce, and I hope that they do. And I'm gonna tell you why I don't give a fuck. Because I come from the generation of you don't tell people to get divorces. You don't pray for people's marriages not to work out. I don't give a fuck. If it's really supposed to work out, y'all will get back together. It happens all the time. But no, I'm praying for the downfall of that marriage, and I'm gonna tell you why. That girl spent a good portion of their relationship expressing to that man the trauma she went through of being a preacher's kid. And I don't know about y'all, but I have often found myself being friends with PKs. I've had PKs that were girlfriends, and a lot of them were either abusive or manipulative in various ways. But hard people to be in relationships with. They're literally taught how to scapegoat accountability in a lot of different ways because the church just breeds that type of energy. And when you have the close enough view of watching your parents portray something and then actually see what's going on behind closed doors, I think you learn how to disconnect from the truth of how you feel and what's actually going on inside versus what you want people to believe, right? So PKs like her, they have all of these issues from trauma, and she sat there and she talked to that man about it. She told him how she felt about being the daughter of a preacher, and then how she felt like her and her mom always had to take a back seat, and she did not want that. She talked about that with that man extensively. And when they got on that reality show, he went and signed up to get, for past the preacher school or whatever the fuck, missionary school, whatever it was. He did that shit behind her back. And to me, I think something like that is a bigger deal than y'all will give it. Y'all act like cheating is is a worse thing. To me, to hear somebody express to you their fears and you to go and actually create their fears for them, that's diabolical to me. That's diabolical to me, especially because I feel like the only time men really get involved in church is when they are being led by their ego and their dicks. I don't think that most men are actually being led by God. I know they think that, but I don't think that. I think it's a tax write-off, and it is a way to get a lot of money from people. It's a way to be the star of the show. You're the preacher. People are looking up to you for your wisdom. And then women are going to throw cat at you because the positioning of being a preacher often puts you in a role that women want to be with a man like you. So, yeah. Once I saw that, I was just like, I don't want them to stay together. She's going to spend the entirety of that relationship betraying herself for him. And then he's going to turn around and look at her with weaponized incompetence like he didn't push her to do it after she turns around and is miserable or resents her life. And then to watch her have 2 kids already. Well, she had the one daughter she was having a hard time with. She did not want another kid. He was not helping her adequately with that kid. And also, I think he was creating triangulation with her and that baby. And you could tell that she was starting to feel some resentment towards the way her child reacted to that good guy, bad guy parenting shit that people who don't want to be involved do. When a person is always responsible for the child, they are sometimes the person that's the only person doing discipline. The other parent gets to come in and out and play around as they see fit. right? Or go against the mom. And whenever they go against the mom's wishes in front of the child, it creates a dynamic where the child is learning how to relate to their mother based on how the father is disrespecting the mother. So then the child will start to disrespect the mother. That happened. They won't listen. I got to call your daddy in order for you to act right. That type of shit, right? So to me, she's going to make all of these sacrifices and he is going to basically corrupt. He's going to corrupt the relationship with her and the kids. He's going to corrupt whatever thing she wants to do with her for herself. He's going to corrupt her being a first lady of a church because he's going to make her do something that she never wanted to do in the first place. Because to me, whenever men do shit like that, like it's really snaky to know that somebody doesn't want something and then to lie to them and get them into your hooks and then do the shit that they told you they didn't want you to do it. Usually those people are doing that shit on purpose. They're actively doing it. So yeah, I feel like I really want that relationship to break up because I feel like he betrayed her to me in a way that shows he's going to continue to betray her. Anytime he wants something and she doesn't want it, and it might be more on her, like having another child, she is going to feel guilty and she is going to feel like it's her responsibility to make him happy, even though she's not happy. And she's the one that's doing the bulk of the work. She talks about it all the time. She complains about it. Women do this all the time. You think if you keep telling him, he's going to get it and change, but no, not really, because really he's using it. He's using it against you. He's weaponizing incompetence. He's doing all of these things. He's acting as if he doesn't know what's going on, because then he would have to be responsible for the fact that he hoodwinked you. He tricked you into a life that you didn't really want. That's what he did. He tricked her into a life that she did not want. She was already married to him, already had a child when he decided to secretly go and sign up for missionary or mercenary or whatever the fuck school it is, y'all, for people to become preachers. Seminary school. Yeah. And so she has 3 now because I think they had 2 already. And then he really wanted that boy, just like Shamia, really wanted that boy. That girl was over there crying, talking about she wanted it to be over. Then another one of the women was, talking to her about, I remember how I felt. I didn't want mine either. They had 2, 3 children that they did not really want all of those kids. They wanted 1 or they wanted 2. And the men convinced them to have the 3rd. And I feel like it's because the men are trying to make it harder for you to leave, harder for you to do anything you want to do. And don't forget, they will always put their wants and needs with the family, aka the child's. And so you'll be doing what they want you to do, but you'll be feeling the shame and the guilt of, well, if you're not doing what he wants you to do, you're not doing what the family needs you to do. He's the family. The family's not the kids. He's the family. So yeah, I thought it was 2. Or did she just have a boy? It's 3 now. It's 3 now. At the time, it was 2. Because I feel like she was convinced to have that second baby when they were on the show. And she didn't want to have that baby. And she was like, I thought I was done. I thought I was done. And he's like, I want a boy. And I believe that she hadn't even had that baby like that long before he was trying to get her pregnant with the boy. So, you really see women making these types of decisions for these men. And I feel like the church helps you think that this is what you should do. Your friends and your family tell you that that's what you should do, but you really should only be doing it if you want to do it. But if you don't know how to listen to yourself because no women around you are showing you an example of a woman doing what she wants to do, regardless of what everybody else is telling her to do, a lot of women don't have examples of that. You have to see that in order to feel like you can do that for yourself. Because if not, everybody else's pressure is going to be what you feel more than anything else. Me and my mama was just having this conversation, and my mom says, I'm putting me first now. I don't give a fuck about how nobody else feel. I have to put myself first. And that goes for family members, that goes for children. And I don't feel no type of way. I don't feel no type of way. I want you to put yourself first in every way that you can. And I remember when it was hard for me to do that, after my dad died and my mom started dating a man, and how that was just so hard. It wasn't because I didn't want her to do it. It was like this out of body experience of how I related to her, because everything about the way we related was a part of this triangle between me, her, and my dad. When my dad was gone, it changed the dynamic of our relationship. And so it had to be rebuilt, basically. It had to be rebuilt because it was built on our triangulation with my father. So having these conversations with older women. My mama is 66 years old. Having these conversations with older women, seeing how life has turned out for some of them, yes, it can be worth it because a man will have made life comfortable for you. But in this day and age, I don't think it's the same. I don't. My mom is in her 60s. In this day and age, you don't have to do it, but you feel like you should because that's what you're being brainwashed and convinced to do. And when you hear brainwashed, you feel like, I'm not being brainwashed. This is what I want. Why do you want that? Who told you to want that? Oh, I've wanted this since I was a child. Exactly. Because somebody told you that that's what you should want. Duh, babe. Duh. And it doesn't mean you're not happy with your choices, because I think sometimes we are happy in our marriages. We do love our kids. But I think once we do it, we know that we weren't making these decisions based in reality. We were making these decisions based in tradition, what is expected of us, and a social hierarchy that we're trying to get into. If you don't want to be considered just another girlfriend, baby mama, you got to be a wife. That's what I was taught, right? So I became a wife because I was taught that there is no real value in being somebody's girlfriend for all of them goddamn years. And how else am I going to get health insurance out of this nigga? Like, you know what I'm saying? The programming is deep, and there's nothing wrong, y'all, with being okay with the decisions you've made, but you have to be honest with yourself about why you made them. And y'all have to stop lying to the women, the young women coming up about what the experience is, because a lot of the times we really are making decisions based on misinformation, based on us not having a clear picture, based on us not knowing what it really, really means. And then when people tell you what it really, really means, you're still in delusional land, so you don't want to believe it. So when we tell y'all marriage and motherhood is servitude, and you don't want to believe us, or you think we trying to hide our good, our good marriages from y'all, trying to conceal something, and it's like, no, that's not what it is. Is that it takes so much work and effort for it to be a good marriage, even under these circumstances. Most people are not willing to do that, and most men aren't willing to be what it means to be healthy for a woman in a relationship. Like, a lot of people just aren't willing to do the work that it requires. And I don't fault them or blame them for it, because I don't think it's necessarily natural. I just think it's what we decide to do. And if it works out, great. But the idea that it's the status quo, it's what we should be doing. This is what women are made to do. This is what men should be doing. I don't believe in that shit. I don't believe in that shit. I don't. Okay, look at my mama calling me right now. Anyway, y'all, let me go. I'll come back tomorrow and we'll have further conversations. Y'all know I fuck with y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed the show, and I'll see y'all in the next one.